Okay, so we took it for granted until the pain became so severe that I couldn't walk. I was limping, I couldn't move around the house. I was like, Jesus, what exactly is this? In fact, it got so serious and so severe, the pain and the swollenness of the leg, that I had to ask my husband to please, would you just use a razor blade and just tear the parts of my leg so that the blood or the what is causing that heaviness could flow out of my leg. If and welcome to this part of our testimony challenge. This is part 3. So if you have not seen our part 1, part 2, please kindly go see it to connect to this story. So yes, the last part we shared how we went for a normal scan. That scan was around our fourth month. So our doctor sent us, because I've had previous miscarriages, so he wanted to be sure that the baby was 100% okay. And we went and the baby was okay. They graded him A, and we're super excited. There was a reason why our doctor also sent us for the scan. That's what I want to share in this part. So around my 3rd month of the pregnancy, something happened. One particular Sunday, we went to church and came back. Then the next day, being Monday, I started to feel pain on my left leg. I'm like, oh, probably because I wore a high heel on that Sunday when I was going to church. So I asked my husband to help me massage the leg, of which he did, right? But the more he was massaging the leg, the pain was increasing. In fact, my leg began to swell actually. I was like, what exactly is this? Okay, so we took it for granted until the pain became so severe that I couldn't walk. I was limping, I couldn't move around the house. I was like, Jesus, what exactly is this? In fact, it got so serious and so severe, the pain and the swollenness of the leg, that I had to ask my husband to please, would you just use a razor blade and just tear the parts of my leg so that the blood or the what is causing that heaviness could flow out of my leg. My husband said, I can't do such a thing. Okay, so we had to go back to our doctor to say, see what is happening. My leg is swelling up and it's very painful. So he checked and said he suspects a particular condition called deep vein thrombosis. I have never heard all my life. I was like, which one is deep vein thrombosis? Called DVT. It was like, it happens most times when people are pregnant and they are observing bed rests. They are not moving around, so it's a kind of blood clotting. The blood has clotted and all of that. I said, what? Okay, so he said, but not to worry, we're going to give you a particular injection called heparin. I don't think he mentioned the name, but he said you're going to take a particular injection that will help thin the blood. You'll be taking it once a day for now. Let's see how it goes. So he gave me one shot that day, and we paid, I think the shot for that day was about 10K a shot. I was furious. I was like, what kind of injection is this that is costing this much? But that was not even the problem. When we came back, the pain continued. Like I couldn't sleep. I was having pain all through the night. So after seeing my doctor the next day, I told my husband, I have a feeling we should talk to someone about this incident. I mentioned a particular woman and he said, no, let's rather call this person. And then, true to what he advised, the person we called was like, oh, I've never actually heard about this deep vein thrombosis ever, but I have a doctor that, attended to me during my childbirth. I had a complicated childbirth and this doctor came through. So I will refer you to go to him. So guys, quickly, we called the doctor. This doctor hardly picks, but he picked my call that day and we went to see him. We bought an emergency card and we saw him. So when we saw him and we explained all that has happened to him, how that we had twins and we lost one, in the process, and I was not moving around, he was like, he suspects something, but he would rather prefer we go check out what is happening and get an authentic result. So he sent us to one particular place. They do scanning, and then a very big place, like very, very famous for what they do. So we went there, and even to leave the doctor's office to go there. In fact, when I came into the hospital, I think it was the antenatal day, all eyes were on me. My leg was big and heavy. I was dragging it. Oh God. So yeah, we went. I dragged myself. I managed to carry myself into the car. My husband drove me to the place. When we got there, we saw the radiographer, and it was using a sort of something to scan the whole of my thighs, every part of my body. And then the way he was shaking his head, I knew that something was not so right. So when he was done, he told me, well, tell your doctor I said it's an emergency, and I'm going to instruct them to prepare your results as soon as possible because your case is urgent. So he did that. We took the result. We couldn't interpret it. He wrote a lot of things, like 3 pages. So when we went back, we gave our doctor, and he was like, wow. Anyways, he said I was going to be admitted. It was when I left. It was after I gave birth that my husband was telling me that this doctor, when he gave the doctor the result, the doctor said that the case is a 50-50 chance of me surviving. Not even baby now, me surviving. Oh God, So they said that deep vein thrombosis is a very serious case when it comes to any human being, let alone a pregnant person. When the blood clots, as how they explained it, if it gets to your chest and then it can make your chest area to be congested and the person will just give up. How I knew also was that when I was admitted, the doctors keep coming. Once they come, each time they come, they'll ask me, can you breathe well? I said, I can breathe. Are you sure you can breathe well? So I got admitted, and I remember that I was like weeping and wailing, trying to climb the stairs to go to where I was admitted, where I was given a bed and all of that. So it was a very horrible situation. And then the doctor explained that this is DVT confirmed, and the blood clot is a lot. It clotted in many areas of my leg, many parts of my body, my legs actually. That I'll be admitted. That he's not promising anything. He later told me that I'm not promising, I'm not God, but we'll do all our best to help you. If you feel any congestion around your chest anytime, whether it's midnight, just give us a call. I was like, okay, because all through the time, what I did was I connected in the spirits. I was just playing, dancing song, worshiping in the spirit, confessing that I will carry this pregnancy to term. I will be alive, the baby will be alive. I say it every morning, I say it every time, right? So, and the miracle happened, because after 4 days, I began to get myself. While I was in the hospital, immediately I landed, immediately I got to the hospital, they lifted my leg up. They say I should always raise my leg up so that the blood can flow and can have its way easily. I was doing that. The pain, if I lie like this, to turn the other way was war. They will come give me injection. They give me these shots morning and night. And apart from these two injection they call heparin, there's another one they inject. That one gets to the brain, and doctor will tell you, Vivian, I'm going to give you a particular shot, or they will give you a particular shot. This one will destabilize you. But he tried to prepare me, but the preparation didn't even do much, because it was so painful. It was like hot rush kind of running through my body down to the V parts everywhere. I was like, Jesus, I hope this baby will be safe, receiving all these kind of injections and all this kind of stuff, because I was just about entering my 3rd month when this thing happened. I wasn't fully in my 3rd month. I remember it is when you are in your 3rd month, like from 12 weeks, 13 weeks and above, that you can say that, oh, the placenta has formed to carry the baby, so the risk rate will be very low. But I was around my 11th week when this thing happened, so I was super scared. But then I keep exercising my faith. But how God came through is that we didn't treat them, because doctor was like, you may stay here 3 weeks, 1 month, we don't know, we really can't tell you how long you will stay here. But within 3 days, the swelling started to come down. I could walk around, the pain started to go down. And then in 1 week, guys, in 1 week, it was almost like I've gotten myself. And the doctor was like, okay, you go back and check again with them. Let's see if the thing has drastically gone down. The clotting has thinned, because the heparin is meant to thin my blood so that it won't be clotted anymore. So we went back, they gave us the result. The doctor said, okay, it's fine, but I will still have to stay more because of the pregnancy. And brethren, throughout those time, doctor was coming to check the baby. The baby is fine, the baby is active. I was like, glory to God. So, and all this while, the other sac was still there. The one that vanished, the sac was still there, beside the sac of the living baby. Guys, just know that it took God's intervention and impartation of the spirit of faith for one to get this situation, because if not, you will keep wondering, how will the living survive with the dead? How will the living survive with the dead? But God did it, because He's God. So all that happened, and then we stayed 2 weeks. The 2nd week, He checked and said, okay, you're fine now. You are free to go. So God is just so amazing. We left the hospital. I was okay. The baby was okay. No harm, no nothing. We're about 14 to 15 weeks when we left the hospital and came back home. So that was what made that anomaly scan to be very essential, because our other doctor knew that all that has happened. Even though he wasn't able to treat us, he knew all that happened. Because we finally returned back to him, I was like, oh, thank God for all you've passed through, but now you need to go for this anomaly scan. So that was why we went for the anomaly scan. And in the midst of all those challenges, guys, the injections taking, the drugs, they pack drugs to, like, they give me, like, if you see where they're giving me drugs, you will fear on my behalf, you'll be afraid on my behalf. In the midst of all of that, the radiographer said baby is A grade, nothing missing, nothing broken. Isn't this God amazing, guys? So I mean, that is the part I want to share with you today, that in case you've heard about deep vein thrombosis before, you've experienced it, or you know someone experiencing it, tell the person that it's not the end of the world. Don't give up. The enemy is a bastard. He can't do nothing. What God says will be, will definitely be. Okay, so after all of this that happened, the baby was grade A, no issue. And then just doctor now said, now that you're already discharged, you're fine. You are going to be taking this injection twice every day for about 8 months. And if you Google it, you'll find out how it is with people that are pregnant that have DVT. Because if you don't keep taking it, the blood might clot back again, and that will be a problem. So you have to keep taking it so that your blood will thin. Okay, so he warned me, please take it to the 8th month. In fact, a very close friend of mine that is in the US, her husband is a doctor. I called her and said, please, would you help me ask your husband if there is a way I can stop taking this injection around 5 months? The husband told me, Vivian, please don't even try it. Whatever it takes for you to buy these drugs, we can even help, but don't even try it. You know, I said, okay, you know, when it comes to faith, it's not a general thing. It's not something you do together with another person. It has to be you and you alone. The Bible said the just shall live by his faith. Praise God. So it was just me and my husband. We told them, okay, we're going to be taking the injection. So when we left the hospital, we took the injection just once every day for 1 week. Then the next week we took it again, and that was the end. Me and my husband, we agreed we're not taking this injection anymore. Guys, the injection was one for 10,000 while we were in the hospital. But when we came back, my husband had to go do research, run around, and he saw where he was buying it to in a pack for 10,000. Okay, imagine 10,000 every day from 3rd month to 8th month. That is 5 months of, I don't even want to calculate the hundreds of thousands we would have spent because of this. So we just conclude that the blessings of God make rich and add no sorrow. We are not going to continue. I'm not telling you to tomorrow if you have this issue or you should advise someone not to take their injection. Our faith level differs. It depends on the conviction you have. So we had that conviction and it saw us through. We didn't take the injection anymore from the 3rd week after we came back from the hospital. But each time we go to the hospital, the doctor will be like, oh, Vivian, I hope you are still taking the injection. Anyways, the baby is fine. I can see the baby is fine. You're fine. And we will say, yes, doctor, please, we are still taking it. He never knew that we stopped it long time ago. Even though the doctor was a believer, but you know, he was trying to do his job, right? So we stopped taking heparin injection that we were supposed to take till 8th month, and yet the baby was super fine and I was fine. So that's the part I want to share, and I want it to encourage someone. Even if you have a particular condition that is not DVT, something nobody have heard, you're not the first, and our God is able to see you through. Okay, so be strengthened, and I will see in the next part of this testimony when the baby that was born, what now happened again after his birth. Okay, see you. Bye. Love you.